Welcome back to Mountain Connections. Right now, we are honored to welcome recruiter guy, talent attraction consultant Bill Humbert right here virtually to Park City Television. Looking forward to having once again another inspiring discussion about finding jobs in this crazy career search that we're finding ourselves in right now. Many people may feel discouraged, may have lost a job, may feel like changing industries. 2020, now 2021 has changed many things for many people. So looking forward to this discussion with Bill. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Christine. Having fun.
It's good to hear. And today we are going to dive into the idea of individuals who are looking for a job, a career change, and they're over 50, and they may feel like companies won't even hire them.
You know, Christine, today we're going to do something extra fun. What we're going to do is we're going to break that myth in half and toss those sticks away, because companies hire people over 50. Quick story, two stories. Number one, for everybody who listens all the way through and watches our interview today, I have 53 presents to give out, jobs. So, number one story, I am 71. I know, I probably only look 81, but that's okay. So I'm 71. 2 months ago, a client that used me before, Cache Valley Electric here in Salt Lake, called me up and said, "We need you, Bill." And I'm back helping them now, recruit. So it doesn't matter how old you are, it's how old you feel you are.
Bill, I would say you look much younger than that. So that's your first story, and that is really encouraging to hear. You have another story for us, though, as well.
I do. So I've been recruiting since 1981. 1985, I recruited a guy for the Washington Post for their data processing area who was 63 years old, and he was one of the Bengal Tigers in World War II in Pakistan. And I recruited him and introduced him to the Washington Post. In those days, he had two strikes against him. One, he was from Pakistan. The second, well, he was a citizen of the U.S., but the second was his age. And the Post recognized that he had the skills that they needed. They hired him.
And Bill, I always love that you come on full of positivity during this tough time, and also a topic that many people really struggle with. Your job is your identity. It's also your finances. It's pretty much most of your life. So when you find yourself wanting a change, needing a change, and you're over 50, it can be a real blow to your self-esteem and who you are. So let's dig into this. What can you do? What if you feel like companies are just ignoring your resume and ignoring your application?
Well, today the problem is, Christine, that companies don't even see most resumes. And that's the bad news. It used to be you would fax the resume in, for instance, or you even email it back before 2000, and some human would take a look at your resume. Today, it's the applicant tracking system that does. And let's say you graduated from Harvard University with, I don't care what degree, any. And would you put high school diploma on your resume? Probably not, right? But if the job description wrote just one line and said high school diploma required, and the applicant tracking system does not see those words on your resume gets docked, and it could be just enough to drop you below the threshold where they will call you up and interview you.
That is very discouraging, and that's where someone like you can step in and help to make sure that you're not missing just a simple keyword, and that's why you're being overlooked. You also highly recommend networking. What if you feel like you don't know how, or you just don't even know where to start?
When people tell me that, I laugh, because we've all been practicing for this moment for years, and especially if you're over 50. When you were 3 years old, and somebody walked by with a popsicle, a lollipop, a toy, something, what'd you do? Where'd you get that? That's networking. When you're in college, you say, who's the best professor for this English lit class? That's networking. Now you've got a car, you need new tires. Yes, somebody that just got new tires. Hey, where should I go to get new tires? That's networking. We've been networking our entire lives and just didn't realize it.
So what do you do to network specifically for a job?
So, it's really interesting about networking for a job because it's not that different. What I suggest you do is you prepare what in my books I call the Here I Am speech. And the Here I Am speeches should be about 2 minutes long. Probably the first minute and 15 seconds would be telling people about your general type of business experience. Always include at least one accomplishment that you're proud of, because then your face lights up. And then tell them the reason I am looking now is, and it could be I was laid off, it could be there's no room above me and I want to grow my career. There's a lot of good reasons why people leave companies. And then you say, what I would like to do next is, so now you're providing the framework for that person to help you. And then the next question is the most important. Who do you feel I should speak with next? And when you ask that question, now they know the framework, and then now they'll give you somebody's name and it'll be a knee jerk. Okay, so, and notice I use that word feel. Don't ask them to think, because people will then think for 3 weeks and then forget. So just ask feel and get that knee jerk reaction.
You work with many people across all ages, but recently have you had the opportunity to coach any individuals who are over 50?
Christine, timing is everything, right? So we have this little pandemic called COVID-19. Since March 15th, when everything was shut down, of March 15th of 2020, when everything was shut down, I've coached 32 professionals to find new jobs up through December 31st. And out of those 32, 22 were over 50.
So very high amount. And in fact, there's a specific reason that we are discussing this topic today.
There is. I might be a little excited today. My new book, Expect Success, The Science of the Over 50 Career Search, is now in pagination. I have a fellow out in New York City, and he's taking my book and he's getting it all set up so that it can be presented both on Kindle and soft covers. So Kevin's out there working away on it right now, and I'm looking forward to him getting the book ready. And as you can see, we have the cover, and it's going to be really exciting. And he wrote me back and he said, wow, what an optimistic book.
And in fact, we can even contact you to get one of your first copies.
Yes, I'm very easy to find. It's bill@recruiterguide.com. And if you send me your name and your email and say, hey, I'm interested in one of the first copies of your book when it comes out, I'll make sure that you're contacted and you get one.
I'm going to be sending you an email today, so get ready for that.
And don't tell Danielle.
Before we wrap up this discussion, I do have another follow-up question. What do you tell people who are over 50 who are really feeling discouraged that they have to compete with people who are so much younger? And not only that, maybe concerned that they're going in with so much more experience, companies might not want to pay them what they're worth, all these different issues that may force you to feel very discouraged. And because you are such a positive person, how do you help people to not just wallow in that?
Well, first of all, I don't allow them to. But secondly, I have 52 jobs today with Cache Valley Electric. We really don't care how old they are, but I will guarantee you that if you're over 50 and you send me an email with your resume, I'm the one who looks at it. It's not going to be any applicant tracking system, so it's bill@recruiterguide.com. The 52 jobs are 50 electric journeyman positions, and they got to be licensed in Utah. There's one estimator, electrical construction estimator position that I'm recruiting for. And there's one electrical senior design engineer with a Utah PE requirement, a license requirement, professional engineer that I'm looking for. And that one very easily could be over 50. So I'm bearing gifts. Recruiter guys bearing gifts. And here's your opportunity to get one.
Well, Bill, it's been such a pleasure speaking with you today. So excited to hear about your book. Can't wait to get my hands on that first copy. And also, great discussion to help people who are over 50 looking for jobs. Once again, always appreciate your positive outlook, and you're here to help many people. Just reach out to Bill Humbert, recruiterguy.com. Can help you find a job regardless of your age, help you have some hope in this job search process. We'll be back with more right here on Mountain Connections right after.